Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we're going to talk about the details for the legendary dragons that will be available at the very start of the Aftermath season. If you haven't seen the video on the mythic dragons, I have released a video with the details on that as well, so go ahead and check that out. But let's get into the details for the legendary dragons. The first legendary dragon, I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but we're going to say Tzumat. And this is a legendary earth warrior. And this has an interesting feel to it. So the Armor of Stone is a toggle spell, and it is white, and it drains 2.2 rage per second. And when you toggle it on, you'll gain a shield that blocks 80% of incoming damage. That's quite a bit, and increases your breath damage by 150%. So this is awesome, but it will be draining 0.2 rage per second while it's active. There is a way to counter that, which we'll talk about further down, that makes this dragon very interesting. But the next spell we're going to talk about is Rock Barrier, an active blue 1 rage spell with an 8-second cooldown, but you can't use it every 8 seconds, and we'll see why. This spell places an array of boulders, 2 boulders, in front of the dragon. Any projectile that would hit the dragon will instead be absorbed 100% by a shard, which will then shatter. This ability ends when no shards remain. While the ability is active, damage from beam-based attacks is also reduced by 50%. So let's say you get hit by a howitzer and by a red or by a mage super shot. Presumably, the mage super shot will be blocked by a shard, and the howitzer will be blocked by a shard, and that will break both of the boulders in front of you, and both will be absorbed 100%. If you don't get hit by 2 projectiles for several seconds, then your ability will not go on cooldown until they are broken. But the nice thing about this is it shields you from a couple spells, plus while it's active, you're going to take less damage from beams, which is a big problem with certain dragons that have spells that prevent projectiles but not beams. They're very weak against beam towers. But again, it only blocks 2 hits, and then it goes on an 8-second cooldown, which is very long. So this one is, well, helpful and interesting, and the fact that it's a blue spell means the blue mage will prevent it. So it might be useful in certain situations, but it's not an overly amazing spell. The next one is Avalanche Breath. It is a white 1 rage spell with a 4-second cooldown. And this gives the dragon 75% increased breath damage, again on top of the 150%. So that's 225% increased breath damage that you can get if you activate both at the same time. But the kicker with Avalanche Breath is that it deals 20% max HP to the dragon itself over 3 seconds. And then you can still heal yourself if you're destroying towers while the buff is active. So all you have to do is destroy 2 towers during this spell in order to make up the health lost. But if you can destroy more, you're going to net a lot extra health. The other main thing, like, man, this spell has a lot to it. It's got a lot of positives and negatives, but it also gives rage generation increased by 100% while it's active. So while this is active, I don't think you'll really be losing any rage while Armor of Stone is on. So you can toggle Armor of Stone on and then also apply Avalanche Breath, and for that period of 3 seconds where the spell is active, you won't be losing any rage and still benefiting from a massive increase of breath damage. So you want to have both active at the same time if possible, and ideally you'll be able to destroy at least 2 towers while it's active so that you're not losing health. And then the last spell is Boulder Drop. It's an active red 1 rage spell with a 2-second cooldown, and it gives the dragon basically a freeze spell. In a target area, you can hit hopefully multiple towers, hopefully 3 easily. Deals 20% modified HP as damage, and freezes them for 3 seconds. So how you'll want to play this one is come around the corner, and you'll probably want to use Boulder Drop right away to freeze a few of the key towers. You'll want to toggle on Armor of Stone and activate Avalanche Breath. The problem is Boulder Drop is red, so if there's a red spell, a red mage, you'll have to take that out first. So that's going to make it harder to open up on an island. And then Rock Barrier is blue, so you'll have to take that one out too. So that's where this dragon is going to be significantly limited. So let's say you come around the corner, start off with Armor Stone and Avalanche Breath, take out the red mage. Then you can use Boulder Drop to freeze a couple key towers and help you decrease some of the health on them. And then when you get the blue mage down, you can use Rock Barrier to help with some of the back towers on an island. And then toggling on Armor Stone as often as you're able to, and then reactivating Avalanche Breath as often as you can as well is really going to be the main thing. But with defenders and a blue and red mage on an island, this dragon is going to struggle. But he's very interesting. Actually, I like the style of this dragon. Okay, so the next dragon is the legendary Fire Invoker Ikkumma. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but Ikkumma. Very interesting names for these dragons this season. And this is an Invoker. So the Invoke shot, after 3 regular three regular ammos, the 4th one is an Invoke Inferno. And this will damage towers in a target area for 1,500% of the dragon's modified attack power. So it's essentially a one-shot hit, kind of like Morak's Invoke shot. It'll deal a ton of damage. Hopefully at least 2 towers will be able to hit reliably. And then after 4 seconds, your ammo will refresh like all other Invokers. Then the first spell is Incinerating Bolts. It's an active red 1 rage spell with a 4-second cooldown and a 0.25 second duration. So I'm assuming it takes 0.25 seconds to complete the spell and destroy the tower. But it instantly shoots a fiery projectile that destroys 1 target. This does not sound like a targeting spell. It sounds like one that you just click on the button and it automatically decides what tower it's going to destroy based on an algorithm of prioritization, and it will destroy that tower. But it is red, so you have to take out the red mage first when you come around the corner with your first Invoke shot. The next spell is Preserve, an active blue 1 rage spell with a 3-second duration. The dragon gains a shield that absorbs all damage and mage tower super shots. When the shield expires, rage marks are applied to all nearby towers, and when you destroy those towers, you'll get back half of a bar of rage. But it's a blue spell, so you have to take out the blue mage first in order to apply that. So probably what you're going to want to do is take out the blue mage first coming around the corner so you can use this shield, because even though you leave a red mage, it will protect you from the mage super shots when they fire at you. And then the last spell kind of intrigues me, and we're going to need more details from the live stream and seeing it actually live. But this is a blue 1 rage cloak that cloaks you for 4 seconds, which is long enough to refill your Invoke shot, and has a 0-second cooldown. So that's interesting, because that means you can come out of your cloak, use an Invoke shot, and cloak immediately before towers hit you. So I'm not sure if this is in fact what it was meant to say, or if there is a cooldown of like 1 second at least. But as written, you can come out, use an Invoke shot, and cloak again without getting hit, as long as you take out any blue mages that are to come in the future of the island. You won't have any issues doing this. But because it doesn't slow down your flight speed, during that 4-second period, you might approach close enough to a blue mage that it disables you. So that's something you're going to have to watch out for, and we'll take some testing. But without a blue mage on the back island, man, I think this spell can be abused. And so the spell cloaks you for 4 seconds. Upon uncloaking, it doesn't do any damage, but you gain 200% increased breath damage. So this could be used to help hit bases above your strength. As a follow-up dragon or a cleanup dragon, you cloak. When you come out of the cloak, you unleash your Invoke shot, and it'll have 200% increased breath damage on top of the 1,500% damage of your modified attack. So this could do some huge damage to some higher level towers. But let's say there is a blue mage and you're not quite able to get it down. As long as the red mage is down, you can use Incinerating Bolts to take out a tower, which I hope will prioritize blue mages, because then you can use your Preserve, and that'll put up a shield that will allow you to, when it's destroyed, get some more rage back, and you can go into your smoke form. And if you activate Preserve and smoke form at the same time, then you don't have to worry about taking damage, and when you come out and destroy a tower, it will have been marked by Preserve so that you'll get rage back on that. So this seems like a very interesting dragon. I think it will be very challenging to fly this dragon because of the red and blue spells. There are no white spells on this dragon. So it'll be challenging to use this dragon, but what you're going to want to do is come around the corner with your Invoke shot loaded, and you're probably going to want to start with the blue mage. That'll allow you to use smoke form to protect yourself while your ammo refills. When it ends, you can then use your next invoke shot on a back island blue mage, but if there is none, you can use it on a red mage. And then once you use it on the red mage, you can also cast Incinerating Bolts and Preserve to protect yourself for a few seconds. And then once you lose that protection, you can cast Smoke Form again. So even for like a less skilled player, if the timing doesn't line up perfectly to spam Smoke Form back to back, you can still cycle through other spells and deal some damage with Incinerating Bolts and your Invoke Shot, and then go back into Smoke Form, as long as you're able to take out the blue mages on the island in advance, so that you're not getting stopped by those. I think with defenders, this dragon is going to struggle a lot because you can't attack in Smoke Form, it doesn't look like. So that means as soon as you uncloak, the shields will activate, the mage shots will go off, and all of that. So you'll have to be very quick in order to make this work. But I think this dragon has potential to be a lot of fun, and especially at lower tiers. I think like if you're less than level 200 or 250, you're only facing islands that have like one island of towers as their kill island. I think this dragon will be amazing, especially as a follow-up dragon to help you hit up against harder bases. Once you weaken the base and follow up with this dragon, I think this dragon is going to be a fun one to have in your roster. So I'm looking forward to trying out this dragon, and hopefully I'll learn to pronounce the name a little bit better. So let me know what your thoughts are on these dragons. If you think one of them is clearly better than the other, if both of them are not really a fit for you, and which one you're most excited for, which one you hope is the discount dragon. I hope this one, the Invoker, is the discount dragon, because I much prefer Invokers. But let me know your thoughts. I'm excited to hear from you. Good luck, and I hope to see you in the next video.